Well, I just want to say, I apologize for not uploading as much. But, anyways, today we have every single epic minigame that I'm gonna rank. That's a lot. So we have God Awful, Bad, Bad, Good, Well Made, Adore, and this is actually amazing, which some will be in the God Awful, not much. So I guess we should start out with Above Water, and Above Water is a bad minigame. Above Water is one of the most annoying minigames to play. It has that one mechanism where you just spam the rockets and hope that you become victorious. Because if you don't spam the rockets, then, well, say goodbye to your win, because that's not going to be a win for you today, sir. Yeah. Accurate archery. It's a mad game. It really just requires a skill, which I do like, but sometimes it can be quite difficult to shoot and actually aim, because a lot of people, but, you know, it's kind of understandable, because, you know, a lot of people are shooting at once, but it's not the greatest. Avalanche, man. The problem is that it sometimes gets a bit too fast for, you know, to be able to actually, you know, play the game. And then when, like, you're actually playing the game, it ends up becoming you dying. Also, why are players so stupid at Avalanche? Like, I've been seeing players, like, going all the way to, like, the front of the map and trying to dodge the things, thinking, like, I'm staying in the back, because it's like, what's the point of staying all the way in the front just for you to be killed instantly? And that's only if you become lucky. Classic Adventure, it's good. It's not a hard minigame. I say the only way you could really lose is if, like, you don't dodge the rocks that fall down from the top of the tower. And the only thing I could ever see you losing is, like, if you don't make the jumps right, or you're too late on some of the jumps, or like if you're lagging or something like that. But it's not a bad game, so I'll put it over here. Balcony Bolt it's a mad game. It's good it feels good when you win, and I do like it when you win. But the main problem is that there's all these people that are trying to win at once, and there's like only one person could win, and that's only if you're not in the large servers. In the large servers, it's obviously a difference, but if you're in the main servers or on the pro servers, this is very difficult. And even in the large servers, it doesn't make any difference, because only 3 people can win. Like, why not 6? Like, why not 7 people? It should be that. Balloon Platoon, it's a pretty mad game, to be honest. It just requires about how fast you click on the balloon, and if you do become lucky with clicking the balloon fast. Battle Skirmish, it's a bad one. You know, for me, it's pretty hard to play, but I think that it could actually be pretty easy if you are on PC. Big Bomb Boom. I'm gonna put it in the good. Although it does require, you know, actually being lucky, there's a smaller percent chance of you actually choosing the wrong one, which you basically have a higher percentage of choosing the right one than choosing the wrong one. Black Hole Scramble. It's in the mad. It's not bad and it's not terrible, but the problem with it is that, one, the time lasts way too long than it should be. It should only last about 30 seconds. And the fact that, you know, like, it takes so long for one map to play, it makes it harder too, because, like, you know, when you're waiting for the game to end, it feels like it's like 3 minutes just for it to end. But even though it's really only 60 seconds, it does feel like forever. Blast Mining. It is another good game. I'm not gonna say it's bad. Even though it is, you know, really just testing you or your reflexes and how good your reflexes are, I do really like how this game is made, because it seems to be one of those games that I feel like that I can play well and not, like, get scared of, like, the bombs. Although my only problem with the game is that it kind of has a problem where it takes too long for the bombs to change back to the rocks, which can be the main reason why people lose in the game. block hunt bad. It's so stupid. For some reason, it's so hard to hide the block. It's so hard to put the blocks in a good spot because you can only put them outside of the map. But for some reason, on the other team, when it's time to find the other player's blocks, like, why is it so hard to find the other team's blocks when to you it feels like it should be so noticeable because you can't even hide it fast? Blow dryer battle. I'm gonna just put it in bad. The problem with it is the knockback on the blow dryers. First of all, the platforms aren't good enough to be on because I feel like that since when you get blown back, you can't react quick. Because it's like in Bed Wars when you used to get hit and your sprint would stop. It's like that. That's what it feels like. So I do think that a good way to fix blow dryer battle is to tick back a bit or like reduce the amount of knockback that happens to the game because at the end of the day, this game really just requires luck. Like, honestly, like, that's only if you're lucky enough not to fully get knocked back. But, like, if you get knocked back to the edge, people would just come back to you and knock you back off. And, like, say you're being knocked back by 2 people, you basically have no chance of surviving. And even if you do, when you're barely off the platform, people can just still come up to you and knock you back because the knockback is way too much. Luxy Brawl, it is a meta game. It's not much. It's kind of boring, to be honest. And I don't really care about most of it, to be honest. Bombastic Bash, I never really cared much for this minigame. And really, it's kind of easy, but it can be really difficult when, like, you have no teammates on your team, but really, you always end up with a teammate. But it really just depends on your team, really. And that's what I don't like about most team minigames. It depends on how, good your team is actually at the game. Which I don't like about some team minigames. Bomb Ball. Now, most people may disagree, but I'm going to put Bomb Ball into... This is actually amazing tier. Bomb Ball's in top tier, and let me explain why. One, the way the game works, it's more so just about, being able to get to the ball. It's more so just like a hot potato, honestly, like, making sure that you're not the last person with the bomb. Basically, because it's more so of, testing your reflexes, like, how good are you, Quest? How fast can you react? Like, how fast can you react to, a bomb being pushed you? There's been very lucky times. Now, I will say, I do hate losing in this minigame because it can be pretty annoying when, like, someone passes you the bomb at the last second. Like, obviously, when it's you passing the bomb to the person at the last second, you feel really glad about yourself because it's like, I was just about to lose. But I was so lucky and to be able to push the bomb to someone else before I lost. So that is a thing that I do like, but the problem is that it does kind of make me upset when I lose because it just feels like that I just wasted a bunch of time playing in this minigame. Although do not play Bomb Ball in the large servers, let me tell you, because it is really hard. First of all, the maps in Bomb Ball, the only map that I'd say is the easiest to win in is the Valley map because it's more bigger than like the first map and the other map. But in the large servers, it's really hard because there's 3 people who have the bomb, which means that 3 people will die at once. Which makes it really hard. Bombs away. It's a mega game. It's pretty boring when the bombs are falling, and it takes way too long for the bombs to explode. I feel like that it should be at 3 seconds. Like, once the bombs plop down, it should be at 3 seconds. Because I feel like that since it takes so long for the bombs to explode, it's very easy for players to just easily react. Like, okay, yeah, the bomb is here. I'ma just run, and like, it makes it easier for players to react. Which means that as the person who's dropping the bombs, it can be very hard for you to actually kill people or to get some people because, the bombs take so long to explode that players can react quick. The only way I can really see you getting somebody is if, like, you're AFK or they react too late and the bomb explodes. Bowling Bustle. I'm gonna put it in the I'm gonna put it in the good tier because the game isn't bad, but the problem is that one, the way the bowling ball can move is good when you're the bowling person, but when you're the person who are basically like, if you're the person that's rolling the bowling ball and you're the pin, because that's basically what it is, like the people in the back are the pins and the person that's controlling the ball is throwing the ball, and you don't want to die, which most people stay at corners, which can really be very annoying as the person, as the controller throwing the ball, because, you know, people are just standing at the corners. That's why I do like how you can move it, but sometimes it's really hard to dodge the ball. Like, I obviously understand that it's not supposed to be easy, but the problem is that it takes way too long for you. It takes way too long for the ball to actually like move like while it's moving. Like, obviously I can see why, because, you know, the players should have an advantage too, but I feel like that as a plan, it's very easy to win and lose. Brick Battle. Although this game is more so just like a copy of most Brick Battle games, I'm gonna put it in the good tier because it is actually pretty good, but the problem is that why does the rockets take so long to reload? Obviously you don't want to, you know, reload like 0 seconds, because, you know, people will spam the crap out of the rockets and bombs. Like, I've played games that have done that before, but I feel like that some of the problems is that some of the maps are way too large. Like, I feel like they should be more so medium sized, like the Aztec Adventure map, because I feel like then that would be more better, because, you know, the maps being so big makes it harder for people to find players and kill players, you know, to win. Bullet Bound. I'm gonna put Bullet Bound in the higher tier, called Well Made, because it's very well made. I think the good thing about Bullet Bound is that it's not hard to beat the game. Now, although getting the badge is pretty hard to get, I feel like it's not that hard if you really have fast reflexes and you really know Bullet Bound well. If you know Bullet Bound well, then it will not be that hard to actually get to the, you know, get to it under 15 seconds, because that badge is not that hard. I've achieved it many times. Well, only twice. Bullet evasion. I'm gonna put it in meh. The problem is that there's bullets coming from different angles, which means that you have to basically move your screen every second because there's bullets coming in. Which I feel like that if it's fixed, it could basically, like, you know, come from one section, but they would come fast, so, you know, you wouldn't basically have that easy advantage instead of them coming from all sides. Because let me tell you, in the pro servers, that's hard. That's very hard. Cake delivery, god awful. First of all, this game is trash. Like, just saying, even then, it's just trash. Like, and another thing is that this game is super annoying, because it's like, this game really depends on luck, and I don't like luck games all that much, because it can be very annoying because of how much it's easy for you to lose. And the timer is way too short. Like, I feel like y'all could reduce it down to about a minute at least, and make the map smaller, because I feel like that, like, you could search everywhere and still not find your house under the time. Like, either you get lucky and the cake that you have to deliver is near you, or you be unlucky and it's far away and you can't make it before the timer runs out. Cannon cooldown, god awful. First of all, this game is way too boring. It's basically about pacing, like how fast can you react to the things on the ground, but at the same time, it's like, if you have a team that knows what they're doing, it's an easy win, which I don't want easy wins, and I don't want hard wins. I want wins like Bomb Ball. It's not too hard, but it's not too easy. It's basically medium. Castle Clash is gonna go into the med tier. The problem with it is that there's some people that just sit there and don't help at all, which I am pretty guilty of, but I at least don't just sit in the base. I kind of at least do something, because, you know, you want to at least help out your teammates all that much. And even though I'm pretty guilty of just staying back in the base and, you know, helping people, it is better to help out your teammates, because then once you help out your teammates, it can help them give an advantage to get the last person. Because when you're the last person, your only option is to hide or die. And if you try to fight, you're not gonna win unless, like, you're a hacker, because ain't no way you gonna easily win against those swords, because those swords go fast. Castle Climb. I'm gonna put it in the good tier. It's not too bad, but it's not too hard. I think that the good thing about Castle Climb is that if you react too late, it punishes you. So basically, it shows you that like you can't react too late, because if you react too late, then you'll have to restart over. Most people would hate it because it's hard, but I don't think it's hard. I think it's one of those better challenging games like Aztec Adventure. Like if you mess up, it will punish you, but it will teach you to like next time, like you actually get the hang of it at the second time playing it. Clear sight, god awful. First of all, this minigame is really annoying to play. And the problem is that the knockback, basically the kick on the balls. If you kick the balls over to try to get over the goal, you have to be actually near the goal. You can't be like far away from the goal, because it'll just hit the net and then it'll go back. You actually have to be near to the side of the goal. And then plus, you know, the problem with team minigames is that your teammates can sometimes be the main reason why you lose. And me, I could get pretty mad at my team, you know, yell at my team like, come on team, like you could have done better than that. But the problem with Clear Side is that this minigame is very annoying to play, especially when your teammates don't know what they're doing. Because they'll sometimes try to hit the ball back, but they won't know what they're doing because, you know, they don't know how to play this minigame well. And plus, in the end, it really just bases off of luck. Like, it really just bases off of luck at the end. Clear Side Chaos isn't a bad minigame, but I'm not saying that it's one of my favorites. But since I don't think it's bad, I would put it in the good tier. I feel like that one thing that I don't like about Clear Side Chaos is that sometimes the things can take too late to shake or move, which makes it hard for you to react. But the good thing is that it does show you like you do want to react quick enough, because if you do react too late, then it can mess you up and you can end up dying in the end, which I do like that it does, you know, punish you if you don't basically, you know, get at it correctly. If you mess up, then that's a punish for you. Sorry, but you just got punished. I mean, we could kind of feel bad for you. I mean, hey, if that's what you want, but Cloud Control is going in bad. First of all, the problem is that there's this weird glitch that basically gives the win to the other team. And the problem is that it can be annoying because, like, you can just stay in the back and there could be those people that are near your cloud and it will just basically just tap the cloud that you're using. It will not leave you alone. It will follow you, which, trust me, that's highly annoying. And the other problem is that if your teammates are up in the front and you're in the back, it can actually help out. But the problem is that sometimes people will follow you back to the back, which basically gives you a chance of actually getting more clouds. And if you're not too sure about how far you go back, you could fall off and basically just mess up your team, which I don't find cool. I do like that one map that basically when you fall down, you could climb back up, which I do feel like that all the maps should be like that, because then it won't be annoying to fall off. Cloud Contention, god awful. The problem with Cloud Contention is that it is just stupid. Like, I feel like that the problem is that another problem with Cloud Contention is that there's so many players going after one toy that it makes it hard for you to get a toy. Like, I literally won the first time playing it with only 4 toys collected, which, like, it really shows you how annoying. And the ice run makes it so annoying to play. It's not even cool because it's just annoying. Not even difficult or cool. Difficult. It's just annoying. Like, that's not cool. It's just annoying. And the other problem too is that, like, in the bomb round, that's just basically a way for you to die. Although it can get rid of the bad players and the players in the way, I don't like it. Colossal Assault. Is it like different Colossal Assault battles? Wait, hold on, I want to see, because if it is, if it's not, then okay, looks to see that it's not, so I'm going to put all of them together. And putting all of them together, I think that Colossal Assault is actually a very good, you know, type of minigame. First of all, the way it works, like, the way I like it a lot, because I like how it basically puts you as, like, you know, everybody is doing a task to defeat this one boss, and if you don't react fast enough to, you know, the boss's, you know, attacks, then you'll end up getting hit. Although in the pro servers you only get 1 life, obviously, because it's the pro servers, you should be pro at the game enough to only have 1 life. In the main servers and in the other servers, I do know that in the large servers it is a lot more challenging because obviously there's 49 players in one server, probably even more. I think they only go up to like 50, so like that's 49 players in one server plus the one other player that makes the 50, which can make it pretty challenging. So I do see it being harder in the large servers, but I don't really know because I don't play Colossal Assault often, and that minigame doesn't get chosen as often. Compactor Crash. I do like this minigame because it's basically one of those minigames where if you don't react fast, it'll punish you. But the problem can be is that it can be super annoying when someone steals yours, because basically you either have to take the punishment of being crushed or just jump off and die, which I don't really like all that much. One thing I could do to make it better is make like every single compactor be open and then remove 2 every round, which that'll make it a lot more easier. Sure, it'll be longer, but it would definitely help out a lot more because it won't be as annoying. Conveyor Conundrum? Conundrum, I think that's how you say it. Conveyor Conundrum. It's another good mini game. The problem is that it sometimes can be very easy to win. Like it's like some other mini games that are very easy to win. Like what's it called? No, these don't know, but what I basically mean is that it can be very easy to win like some other mini games that are on and that I'm gonna be ranking soon, which could be one of the main reasons why I don't necessarily think that Conveyor Conundrum is a bad game, but not in the higher tiers of like the good mini games. Even though I said the good. I meant good. If that was pronounced correctly. Next is Crackland. And even though it is very easy, I'm gonna put it in a door because it's one of those easy minigames that take a while to complete. It's not easy. It's more so the easy ones, but it's gonna take a while for you to complete, which I like a lot because I feel like that, it shouldn't just be super easy. And if you do mess up, it does punish you, which I do like minigames that punish every mess up that you make because it can teach you to like not mess up next time. Crumble Island is actually a very hard minigame for me, but I don't think it's bad just because it's hard for me. I think it's pretty good. The problem is that it can sometimes be too hard to react, and when like you get stuck on one block, like once the block is already 2 feet below the ground, you're done. You have no way of escaping because once it's 2 feet under the ground, once you've already sunk 2 feet, you basically die. And sometimes you can get stuck, and basically once you get stuck on that one block, you basically have no other choice but to die. You can't go nowhere because you'll fall off. So, and more so just depends on luck, but not necessarily. Crystal Clear is a pretty mad minigame. Although it does compare on luck, it can be pretty easy. But the problem is that, like, come on, bro, why do the crystals randomly spawn? And even then, you should just basically just camp the area, because when you camp the area, that's literally the only way I see you winning easily. Like, come on, like, you could have done better than that to just make it like that. I feel like that shouldn't just be a simple game that should just be that easy. No game should be super duper easy to the point where like it's so bad that it's so easy to the point where so many people can beat it so fast. It's like Carnival and Piggy, even though this isn't about Piggy. Q Factory, if the tier list could work. Okay, now that I am back, I will finish up all this tier list. Next up is Q Factory. Now, beforehand, I would have put it in bad, but I will put it in bad. Although I do like that it shows you how you do the code, because let me tell you something. Beforehand, it was highly annoying, because it was basically you just click the blocks to see which one would work. And if you were lucky enough, you would actually crack the code, which I didn't like about the older version of Q Factory, which I do like that they did improve it to tell you like how you crack the codes, because I feel like if it was still like that, then I would have put it in God Awful. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. It is better because of that, but I don't think it's all that great, to be honest. Like, even in general, it's not that great. Deforestation Ash? Deforestation Ash? I don't know. It's a, let's say Minigames. It really just depends on, like, how fast you click. Which I feel like if you use an auto clicker, it can just easily click you. Is that just me? I feel like that's just me, though. Desert Dehydration. This is another mad minigame. The problem with this one is that it can be annoying when people are camping the things. That's the main problem with this one, is that sometimes people can completely hog the blocks of colas, which basically makes you be stuck. It basically means that, like, you basically just are dead now because you have no way of surviving. Like, that's why early in the game so many people die, because half the times the people hog the things that, like, you know, they need to survive, obviously, because it's called Desert Dehydration and it requires blocks of colas. Sure, the statue is a very mad minigame. It's one of the most mad ones, actually, out of the entire list. The problem is that if you camp a spot and just know, like, you easily won. But if you overpower that team, then basically they done took over the power that you had, and you could lose. That's why I mostly just go for the statue, just attack it with my sword. And man, I miss the old destroy the statue. It required teamwork. Like, your entire team had to go together, and they had to destroy the statue. Like, why did they add in cannons and stuff like that? Like, why did it become a versus, that whole thing? Like, or destroy the statue would have been way higher. Disney decisions god awful. I don't even need to explain why it's so awful, but I will. First of all, this minigame is very stupid, and for some reason, it glitches me where I'm, like, stuck until the entire platform comes up. Because apparently, it just hates me, which I'm putting it in god awful. Dodgeball is actually a pretty good minigame, but the problem still remains is that if a team has more team than you do, it can be pretty hard for you to play because of how easy it would be for the other team. Downhill is, it's in between the bad and the mad, but I'm gonna put it in the bad. The problem is that it's super easy, and once this minigame gets chosen, that's basically like an easy win for you. Like, that's like an easy A that teachers give out. Like, an easy A, that's just an easy A. Drawing the line, it's that minigame. Really, it just requires on you being lucky to have a good enough accuracy. Because honestly, I feel like that thing is glitched. That's just me though. Equal observation. I do wish that if you actually were to accidentally, like, snapshot the tigers or whatever the things that run around, it would actually, like, kill you. I feel like that would be good, and it could, you know, teach, like, don't like actually take pictures of the thing. That's something I think I could add to equal observation. Expedition Sprint. It's actually one of those better race minigames that I seem to like more. Which I'm gonna put it up in the top tier because of how good it is. First of all, it's not required about having luck, and it's not required about having skills. It's just required if you have a better enough, you know, way of understanding how it works. If you're careful and you know how to basically, you know, use your controls correctly, then the minigame is easy. That's very awkward. But I don't necessarily think it's terrible. Although I do love the high peak map because that makes it really fun. But that's just me though. Fishing Frenzy. It's gonna go in the med tier. The problem is that sometimes it can be very annoying to catch things, and it can be very hard, but I feel like that's just because I'm a mobile player. But the annoying part about this minigame is why it's in the Met is because of how common it is for you to actually hit the stars. Like, even if it's like half down the way, it can still be easy to hit the stars, which I don't like all that much. Which I don't really know what else there is bad, but I feel like that it just doesn't deserve to be necessarily in the higher one. Next up is Flee the Facility. Oh my goodness, this is such a good one. The thing I like about it is that it's not just a normal, run to escape. It has challenges that you have to face and obstacles that you have to go through. And it also shakes your screen that can very catch you off guard, which I love the most about this minigame, which is why it's so good, because it's not just a normal sprint game like Expedition Sprint. It's harder, even though Expedition Sprint is still good, even though it's very easy. I do like Expedition Sprint a lot. But this game turns that game into a more harder escape game. Even though you do go through obstacles in Expedition Sprint, and Flee the Facility, the screen shaking is what makes that game very good, because it makes it harder for people to actually, escape. Unless that's just me, to be honest. Splint Lock Fight is a mad game. First of all, it can be very boring if people don't know how to aim correctly, because then that just basically means that you're just playing the entire game and then no one wins because you end up running out of time. And the other problem is that sometimes it can be very annoying when people are just running all the way up to the top of the ship. Even though I'm pretty guilty of it, it can still be pretty annoying anyways. Just having seen people just do that. But it isn't annoying and it isn't terrible in the battle god-awful section. Football Fever is a bad game. The problem is that it's just annoying. Unless you're winning, it's just annoying, because it can be pretty annoying when your teammates are just not helping you out at all, and also are being stupid to the fact that come on bro, that's not our goal. Please understand that that's not our goal. Four corners bad. Straight up, what the heck was the developers thinking of this game? Come on. Y'all really messed up on a game that had potential to be so good. The problem is that this game just really requires a lot. And there's a 50% chance of you actually coming out victorious in this game anyways. Which I don't like at all, because I don't like games where you can just come victorious of being just lucky. That's not cool to me, and I don't like it at all. Although I will say the only good thing, which still doesn't take out, is that it can be pretty good it can feel pretty good when you win. But the problem is that every single one that you go on, it'll change each way out. So basically, if you go on a blue will sink. If you go on a green will sink first. It's the one that you go on first will sink. And even then, I feel it more so just requires of you going in the one that most players go on. And even then, that could just kill half the entire server anyways. Freeze or Fray is a mega game. The problem is that you could be frozen in the ice cube, and you can yell help, 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 but your teammates will never understand that this is basically a laser tag, a freeze tag game where you can unfreeze people. But the problem even then with that is that it can also be annoying when you're truly trying to take out the other team. Yeah, your teammates do not help you out at all, and basically try to just stay at the base and make you have to take over the other team. But then they act like complete noobs when the other team is at your base. Come on, when people are yelling help, help, unfreeze me, do you not understand what thaw means? Walk up to them just so you can unfreeze them. Your Battle is actually one of my favorite minigames, but I'm not going to put it in the top 2 as the Glitter Bomb Ball is, because it has a problem that I feel shouldn't be, forgotten about. The problem is that if you don't get a weapon within 30 seconds, you can basically get killed, because once that person gets a weapon, they're going straight for you. Also, if you get the Skull Sword and if you get the Supernova Sword, that's basically an automatic easy win. There's nothing else to be said. That's just an easy win. Gladiator Grounds, I'm gonna put it in the bad section, and the problem is that literally this game was just 4 quarters, but the thing that makes it better is that if you do wait out, there's less people, which gives you a higher chance of winning. But even then, that doesn't make it a good minigame. You know what I mean? Going underground is a mad minigame. The problem still remains is that sometimes it can be very hard to see where it's going at, where the thing that you're supposed to be dodging is going at. which can make it very hard for you to actually dodge. And then you end up confused, like, what just happened? Like, how did I die? Because you didn't see where it was, because it didn't make it understandable, like, where I was supposed to move at. Forward press is a minigame. Why is this in the good? Hard press. Where's hard press at? Here's hard press. It's a minigame. It's super easy to win, which makes it mad, and it's chosen often, which makes it mad. But I will say I do like it. I do like how like 3 go down at once, which makes it easier. Makes it harder. Haunted Hallways is a not necessarily god awful but bad game. It's not the greatest. First of all, like, you know, you can unlock all the doors and get to the final ending, but there could be that one person that didn't do nothing but still win the game because they beat you to the end, which can just be pretty annoying. I feel like that could make me so mad. Like, I was doing all the work, and like in the end, I don't get rewarded for anything because in the end, some person just takes it away from me. Like, that would make me mad because like I did most of the things to actually beat the game. Yet I don't get no praise for it. All I get is that I lose. Hedge way out. Do we really need to talk about how bad this minigame is? Like, first of all, it's annoying because you can get stuck in one hedge for like the entire game, and it will just change the other hedges, but you will just still be stuck in there. Like, I could be stuck in the game for so long, and it still doesn't change back. Like, I don't find that cool how like you can basically just be in a hedge and you know nothing good will happen out of it, because really it's a luck game at the end of the day. Hand hurting, this game is just, it's bad. Like, first of all, I feel like that you could not do anything and you could still win. Like, it's so easy because like I was literally AFK while playing the game and I won. Like, I was in the top 3 of the people that won. High Pressure is a memory game. I wouldn't necessarily say it's all that great because it has a problem where it takes way too long for the things to react, which can make it easier for players to easily escape. And that's only if like they're lagging or anything. High rolling, god awful. Like, there's nothing to say. First of all, the controls are like what? Not even terrible. The controls are basically an abomination. Like, that's how bad the controls are. An abomination. Like, that's how terrible the controls are. Like, I literally could be moving slow, and the ball that I'm on top of literally will just straight roll me off the edge. Like, I'm moving my cursor straight, and like I'm going straight, but it will just roll me off the edge as if I was like going that way. Like, why does it do that? Like, I don't understand why it does that. Hurdle Hurry, it's not bad, but it's not terrible. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's in the higher tiers, but you know, more so just good. It's one of those good minigames. I do like how it is made though, because it really just, you know, depends on how fast you can click the jump button, which it is one of those times where you do have to wait at the right second to click, because when you do wait at the right second to click, it'll work out well. Gosh, I've been recording for so long. Juggernaut, it's going to go into the bad section. Wait, isn't bad. Each time of year, there's not anything to explain. First of all, the problem is that when there's more, being only one Juggernaut, which I haven't played Juggernaut in the large servers because there's probably 3, which makes it challenging. I definitely say play this one in the large servers because there may be 3. I don't know. Just jump. It's not bad, it's meh. The thing about it is that it's easy. And when I say like it's easy, it's really like easy. Like, all you have to do is just click the jump button, like click, or click the space bar. Like, that's all you have to do. Is just click the jump button or the space bar, or A if you're on a controller. King of the Hill, god awful. First of all, the main problem is the knockback. the knockback is so annoying. Like, even if you get knocked off the hill, like, obviously you're fighting to be the top king of the hill, which is obvious if you get hit off the hill. That's not the problem that bothers me. It's the knockback. Like, I feel like I could get knocked back. I feel like I can get knocked back. And it just doesn't do any good at all. Like, I feel like that I'm just annoyed, more so just happy that I got knocked off. And even then, it's super annoying when you have those people that will literally knock you off, even when you're not even on the hill. So basically, that's basically just giving you more so that disadvantage to win, which isn't cool at all. Lane jumping, people hate it, but I don't think it's bad. I actually think it's really good. First of all, it requires, timing. You can't just run into the lanes, because that's how you easily get ran over. I do want to say that the pacing of the game is pretty bad, but I don't think that messes up the game at all. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think it messes up the game just because the pacing is pretty bad. That's just me, though. Laser cutting, another overhated minigame, but I think it's actually a good minigame. And, like, when I mean good, it's just, like, good, just, as I said, good. There's not much to say about it. All you have to do is dodge it, which can be pretty easy, which I do like how it makes, like, you have to do, like, a parkour type thing. Like, you have to jump in order to not die. That's what I like, at least me. Laser guidance, I don't like it all that much. The problem is that it's really boring, and it can be hard too. Like, trust me, laser guiding getting boring is hard boring. Like, I feel like that, like, it's super easy to be, but the problem is that I feel like the other problem is that, like, I feel like that I could just, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that I feel like that I could easily dodge the lasers, which my strategy is that what I do is that I just wait till it gets closer to me and then just jump, because that makes it easier for me to avoid it. Laser tag, terrible. There's nothing to say about this minigame. It's just terrible and annoying to me. If you like laser tag, then you like laser tag. Also, to put some other terrible or god-awful games, we have Marble Madness. This game is just terrible in general. First of all, you can't even win, basically. What this minigame tells you, that there's no way of you winning. All you can accept is a loss, a loss, a loss, a loss, a loss, and you have, like, a 2% chance of actually winning. And that's only if, like, your team is actually good, which, let's just say, most of the time, they aren't. Which, as sad as it sounds, it's 100% true. Which, I hate to say that it's true. A lava forecast is actually a very, very, very well-made minigame. The thing that I like about it is that it depends on how fast you react to the lava things falling to the ground. If you react too late, then you could die. Basically, just like a punish move. Like, you have to react fast enough in order for you to be able to actually, like, get to the things at the right time. Because if you react way too late, then say goodbye, because that's just a loss for you. Another god-awful game, Manic Mining. This game makes no sense. Like, why does one person have to find it? Like, why can't not 6 people, because that's way too overpowered, but why can't 3 people find it in the main servers? Why in the large servers that 3 people can find it? I feel like that in the main servers, or in the pro servers, that 3 people should be able to find it. Or in the pro servers, reduce it down to 2. I feel like that's a good way to make it. Lights on. People hate it because it's too hard, but I think when it got changed, it actually made the minigame very, very easy. Like, I don't think it's all that bad, but the problem is that it can sometimes be annoying when you lose, but I feel like that's just me. Like, I feel like I'll get upset when I lose, because it makes you feel like it makes you want to punish yourself. Not necessarily, though, and not really. Mechanical mayhem, bad. Like, all the game is just dodging the things, and if you turn around too late, then you die. That's basically the entire premise of the minigame. There's nothing cool, nothing fun about it, and that's just it. Missile Command, I'm not gonna say it's bad just because it's hard for me. I'm gonna put it in the meta tier, because you do feel very accomplished when you win it, because, you know, it's very hard for you to really control it well without easily dying. And that's just me, to be honest, because I always die in Missile Command. But I don't necessarily think that it's bad just because I haven't won it, you know what? Next is Mower Mania. Why do I feel like I'm an old person mowing my lawn when I'm playing this game? Like, I feel like I'm old playing this game. That's just me, though. I do feel like I'm, like, old when I'm playing this game. But if you don't feel old, then you don't feel old. I'm putting it in well-made because it's actually a very well-made minigame. Although it can be annoying when you do lose. That's just me, though. Some minigames can be pretty annoying when you lose. I don't know if that's just me, but Legend Budge is a bad minigame. The problem is that it just requires one just... Basically, I feel like that if you were to use an auto-clicker, you could easily win this minigame. Or if you had fast fingers, you could win this minigame. That's basically all. It's just about being fast. Only one path. It's a minigame. Even though only one person can win, I do like how it does punish you if you mess up once. Like, if you mess up once, there is a chance, like, you can, like, glitch it out, or, like, you, like, jump on it, but instantly jump back. But you have to be fast, because if you don't react fast enough, then that's basically a punish for you. Like, you'll be punished because you reacted too late, which I think that is actually good, because it can teach you to basically be careful next time, or just follow most people. Like, just follow the people. I want you to show me. Like, just follow the people who you're following. Like, just follow them. I think that's, like, the easiest way of, you know, winning this. That's just me, though. Like, oh gosh, the thing. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's freezing. Okay, Orbit Snatcher. Oh no, it happened again. No, and I still got a couple left, and I'm almost finished. Next up is Orbit Snatcher, and Orbit Snatcher is actually a very well-made game. Even though it's easy, I do like how it's, like, more so of a... It basically references the claw machine games, like the claw machine games that you play at, like, arcade machines and stuff like that. I like how it references that. And this game is more so like Ball, kind of, but not necessarily. It does have, like, the things of Ball. If you get taken in, then yeah, that's basically a loss. And it teaches you to have fast reflexes of when the controller is actually, you know, trying to grab you. Although it does seem very hard as a controller, though. I feel like that's just me, though. Outbreak. Not bad, but not too good. And the main flaw with this is that, one, it feels like it's so hard to outrun the infected. And, like, unless you find a really good spot, then you can't win at all. And the infected basically win. Unless, like, you are at a really good spot where the infected won't find you. But even then, they can search everywhere, and even then, if they find you late, that can basically give you an advantage, because you can basically just run and run and run and run. But they won't be able to catch up to you, because by the time they get to you, the game is already over, which I think is actually very cool. But the problem still remains is that it's very easy to get everybody as the infected. Pink to perfection. Really, just fast clicking, and if you are good enough to it, then I would say that it's good. Although it's not bad, because the pro servers make it a lot more challenging. So the pro servers basically saved that game from being bad. Penguin Pushover, which this minigame was a lot harder. It wasn't as easy to dodge the penguins, which is why it's just going in the mad tier than the battle god awful. Pipeworks, I am putting this in the bad minigame. First of all, if you don't have a good teammate, then say sayonara to your win, bro. Like, you are not gonna get a win at all. unless you have a good teammate, and the teammate that you really have, like, even if he is good, you better hope that, like, he actually knows how to play the game well and not, like, mess up. You know what I mean? Platform Perel, it's more so of an easy mini game, but I'm putting it in good because it can be challenging sometimes, and it can also be hard if you end up lagging, because that can get you a lot, and you'll be off the platform because you were slow to react. It's basically one of those fast reaction games. Destroy the statue. I do not like this game, but it's not bad because there are rare chances that you win this mini game, but the chances of you really winning this mini game are like at a 2% chance, and you have a 97% chance of winning. It's basically like the lottery ticket, like winning the lottery. Although winning the lottery, you have a 99.9% chance of winning, and of losing, I meant, and you have a 1% chance of actually winning the lottery, which if you win the lottery, you have to be very lucky. But we're not talking about the lottery, winning the lottery, we're talking about Epic Minigames games. Pirate Pit, it's harder for me at some points, but, you know, if you're on PC, you can see this well. And this game is actually pretty meh, and here's why. It's only fun when you're the controller, because I feel like when you're the controller, it makes it super easy. But when you're the player, bro, I feel like it'd be so hard. But that's just probably me, because, you know, I'm on a phone. That's not the greatest. Rampant Rhythms. I like this mini game a lot. It's more so like Roblox, but it's done super well to where, like, I feel like that most people can easily play this game and not, like, rage. Obviously, it's harder for me because I'm on mobile, but I think that just because I'm on mobile doesn't mean that a minigame should be bad, because it's harder for me. I'm gonna put this in really well made because I think this minigame was well made. I do like how it does reference Roblox, stuff like that, which makes it very cool. Revolution Cube, another well-made game. It basically tests on how fast you can react to things, like some mini games. It's more so just fast reaction and being able to react fast enough to the things that are happening. Because if you don't react fast, then just say sayonara to your win. Like, it's like that, but it's not terrible. It's not like that, but in a terrible way. So that's why I'm putting it in well-made. Next up is Ring Diver. This minigame is very hard for me, even though I won it. But I don't think it's all that cool and stuff like that. Even though it is pretty easy for most players, it just seems pretty mad to me. Like, I feel like that once it's so easy to you at a certain point, I feel like that, like, it's so easy to the point where, like, even if you win, it won't even satisfy you completely. Like, that's how I feel like it is at this game. Obviously, when I won Ring Diver for the first time in my life, I was very satisfied because it was very hard for me to play. But that's just me, because I feel like I'm trash at so many games. Like, there's obviously the easy mini games to win, and then there's also the hard/annoying ones. And trust me, I hate the hard/annoying ones. Those really just grind my gears. Now, since we're about to be done, we only have a couple left. I'm gonna go through these a lot faster though. Rocket Rumble, bad, and Rolling Race, bad, or god awful. Well, no, Rocket Rumble is just bad. Rolling Race is god awful. Rolling Race is annoying, bro. Like, it's not even cool. It's just annoying. Oh, we have another terrible mini game. Tile Takeover. It's either you win the game out of straight luck or just be annoyed by being followed 24/7. And Rolling Race is just the same thing, but your teammates being the means in their way, it's annoying. And Rocket Rumble is just, oh, hey, boom, alright, I'm just gonna shoot your platform down so you can die. Oh, yeah, you died. Oh, the top 3 win. Okay, cool. That's all the minigame is. Romper Stomper is kind of hard as a stomper to kill people, because it sometimes glitches where you can't kill people. But it's also very easy to win, and there's no punishment if you mess up at all. So that's why it's going in meh. Round Race. It's one of the harder race games, and it really just means that you have to be a lot more slower on how you use it, because if you mess up, then you'll fall off. But once you hit the checkpoint, basically, it's easier for you to play. But still, the problem is that it's sometimes the time is way too short for how long the race can be. So basically, if you're lucky, you can finish at the last second. Shark Survival. It's one of those games where a lot of people die fast in because of how fast it is for people to just follow the water. Which I don't like the fact that like you can follow the water. Like I feel like that if you follow the water, you can respawn, but like you only get like 2 blocks ahead from somebody. Nah, don't actually do that because then that would be easier for you to win. But I feel like that you should be able to die if you follow the water. Even though it's more so just of a punish. Shock absorbers. This game a lot of people probably don't like because it puts a lot of pressure on you. But I like it a lot because I think that it basically shows how good you react to things. If you don't react to it good enough, then you will basically die. Which I like, and I like games that basically do that. If you don't react fast enough, then say goodbye to your win. Because if you aren't good enough, then that's not a win for you. You basically lost. Skewer Shuffle. One of the more easier minigames, but I'm gonna put it in good because I really like how it basically shows like, oh, I need to react fast or else I'm gonna die. Which is something that I do like about some of these minigames is that I like it when like if you don't react fast enough, like shock absorbers, then you basically get a punish. Slippery sledding. But I'm gonna do Spiky Spinner. Spiky Spinner is actually a meh mini game. And the problem is that as a spinner, it's really hard to kill people. But as the player, it's super easy to win. Slippery sledding, it's not the greatest, but I'ma just put it in meh because it's kind of boring to be honest. Solo Swordsman. It's good when you're the killer swordsman, but when you're not, it is boring. So I'm gonna just put it in the meh side of the tier list. That's just me though. Spiral Ascent. Good. It's just good, that's all. There's not much to say about it. Teamwork Trial. It's actually a good minigame, but the flaw is that with your teammates being bad and not knowing what they're doing, it can be annoying whenever like you're trying to play the game, but you end up dying and losing. And that can be pretty annoying at points when it's because of your teammate. And to finish up the god-awful section, we have Whack-a-Block. This minigame is so boring. Like, why was this even an idea of making? Sort of scary. I hate this minigame with all my heart, and I will always say how much I hate this minigame. This minigame is just, it's not even terrible, not even awful. Like, it is a straight up minigame that should have just been in the drafts. Like, who thought of this idea as a minigame? Like, no hate to the person who made the game. Like, no hate to them. But, like, come on, bro. You could have kept this game in the drafts. Like, this game did not need to be made. No hate to you, because it's actually a very well-made game. But in my opinion, it is just straight up terrible. Teetering Turmoil, I think that's what it's called. It's gonna go to the top section of the map. First of all, this game requires fast reflexes. Like, you need to react super duper fast. Because if you don't react fast, then say goodbye to that precious win of yours. Because that's just gonna be a win streak that you end up losing. And it's gonna be most of your fault because you should have reacted fast enough. But I mean, hey. The Crusher, it's gonna go into bad. It's not terrible or awful in any way, but I don't think that it's all that great. And that's just me. Like, am I the only person that feels like this map? That, unless it's the harder maps, then it's super easy, bro. the sweeper. The sweeper is an easy map. But I don't think it's bad on anyways. Why is clear side open? It's not bad in any way, so I'm gonna put it up at meh. Because it's very easy. Toxic reactions. Many people will highly disagree with it, but I think it's one of the best minigames in Epic Minigames. It's so fun just like trying to go to each side of the platform. And the way if you don't react enough at time, you will get punished. I like it, but it works a lot better than any of the other minigames that are like that. Because it's just like, hold on, where is it? There it is. If you do react fast enough, then you won't get punished. But the punish is just you falling into the water and dying. Which I don't think is bad at all. Really, it's not. Train trouble. It's going into the top tier. Honestly, I think that this one is actually one of the more so easier ones that I'm gonna put it good because it has a flaw that it is extremely easy unless you're on the pro servers, but you know, it's very easy. Treacherous tiles. This minigame is just annoying to play. It gets fun at first, but then when you really just play it over and over again, like when you realize how much it is, how much like you play it, like when you play it more and more, you start to realize how boring it is. At least that's me. Trial traversing isn't mad because there's some maps that I despise completely. Uncertain ground. It's gonna go into the top tier of this entire tier list. Like, if there was a higher tier, it would have been there. But I'm gonna put into this is. I keep messing up some of the games. Where did it go at? Oh my goodness, I lost it. Okay, well I completely lost it. So the last one is Undead Aboard out of all the minigames. This minigame is one of the craziest ones. It's not bad, but it ain't great. But I'm not gonna put it in bad. I'm gonna put it in good tier because I think that it has the potential to be good, but later in the game, bro, it gets way too crazy. Like, it gets super crazy to the point where it's like, yo, like, why is there an entire horde after me? Man, that took forever to do. If you actually watched the entire video, you are a certified legend. Anyways, that is it. Now bye.